And of course, now we have Chris Harapsky joining us from the live desk, trying to break all of this down that we've been seeing in this special report. Chris, what can you tell us?
Right. So we've just been watching this special news coverage from NBC for about the last half an hour or so, and the video is important for everybody to see. There's a lot happening in Israel right now. So this is all according to NBC News, the New York Times, and the Washington Post. And what we just saw, there have been 2 rounds of missiles fired from Iran through the Lebanese border there and into Israel. So missiles have been launched from Iran to Israel, according to the Israeli military. NBC News says this, and we can show the video. This is recorded 15 minutes ago. This is what we were just watching live. As you can see, the rockets being fired through the sky, some of them being intercepted. As you can see, some explosions in the sky right there. But NBC News is saying this, quote, Iran launched an unknown number of missiles at Israel this evening, with lights briefly lighting up the skies over the cities of Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. A military spokesman said that Israel's air defense system was, quote, fully operational, detecting and intercepting threats wherever necessary. As you heard in the video here, you can hear the sirens going off. We were told that sirens went off throughout the entire nation of Israel to alert everybody to get to a secure place. Now this, as Iran says, is a direct response to the ground invasion of Lebanon by Israel and its northern border there, as they try to fight Hezbollah and push those forces away from the Israeli border. Again, NBC News reports Washington, D.C. is supporting preparations to support Israel, is how they put it, warning of, quote, severe consequences for Iran, end quote. Now, we do know that there were no attacks targeting U.S. troops so far. We don't have any reports of that. But there were at least 2 barrages of these missiles that went off. Of course, it's overnight in Israel and the Middle East right now. But there were 12-minute bursts. So you have a couple of NBC News reporters that are on the ground in Israel. And as we were watching, they were reporting what they were seeing, which are these 12-minute barrages. As you can see, some of them hit the ground there. Barrages of missiles from Iran to Israel. We also saw reporters hearing those sirens and had to get out of Dodge there and take cover, which is hard to watch. It is unclear if any Israeli allies had time to counter these missiles. We're going to wait for a report from our own government officials to see what roles the U.S. and other allies had. But Israel has this Iron Dome defense where they can intercept a lot of these attacks, and they've had success with that before. But again, loud explosions could be heard throughout Tel Aviv. We are entering what many know as sort of the fog of war right now. We don't have clear intelligence. We don't have clear statistics as to exactly what happened and what damages happened. Nothing official about casualties or impacts from the Israeli military right now. Again, though, this is something we've seen before, as some of the NBC, as Richard Engel pointed out. There was an attack from Iran to Israel that happened in April. But it was a much smaller attack. And Israel then responded with a small sort of surgical counterattack to Iran in that time. But this is a much larger attack. And yeah, wow. You haven't seen video like this in some time, Alexis.
Chris, this is very interesting because as those NBC reporters were reporting, the U.S. defense being the first to notify, which is important to note because, as the experts were saying, sometimes they put out this information as a deterrent, meaning, hey, maybe if we put out this information, it won't happen. Obviously, we saw it right here on our air, dozens and dozens of missiles here.
Right.
Do you have anything else to share?
I'm just looking through right now. No, but you're right. The U.S. was certainly involved in an intelligence level, and Iran had warned that this was going to happen. The great question is what's going to happen next. Is the U.S. going to be involved in a counterattack? Is Israel going to counterattack? Richard Engel said he's all but certain Israel will retaliate to Iran. But we just want to make sure that you get a heads up on this video that's happening right now in the Middle East. Those are the stats that we know right now. And we'll be sure to give you updates all day as soon as we get them to get further intelligence on what's happening in the Middle East right now, Alexis.
Absolutely, Chris. So much. Let's go ahead and head outside locally here with Ben to take a look at your forecast. Ben.
Well, a lot quieter on our weather front. We did have a cold front pass through yesterday, I'll say mid to late afternoon, and you can see the result. Temperatures are a lot cooler today, about 15 to 20 degrees cooler right now than just 24 hours ago. Many of us are going to stay in the 60s for high temperatures today, and of course we are seeing plenty of sunshine as well. So that really hasn't changed a whole lot. Your hour by hour forecast does take us into the mid 60s, which, well, it feels cooler, but this is seasonal. These are normal temperatures for this time of year. So we have up and down temperatures much of the forecast this week. Today we're on the cooler side, tomorrow on the warmer side. Higher fire danger tomorrow as another dry cold front moves through, and still no rain in sight. We'll have your full forecast coming up, Alexis.
Ben, thank you. Now to our top story here at noon. Tonight is the high-stakes vice presidential debate between Governor Tim Walz and Senator J.D. Vance. The matchup could be the final debate before the election. Cece, I know over the past couple of hours you've been learning a little bit more about the debate rules and what we can figure out with these campaign strategies. What can you tell us?
Yeah, well, I can tell you right now that this is probably the last major opportunity for both campaigns to make that final pitch to voters, especially those undecided voters. Of course, both Walz and Vance have been laser focused on preparing for tonight. Sources tell CNN that Walz hunkered down in Harbor Springs, Michigan for a debate camp, while Vance has spent the last month in intense prep sessions, both at his Cincinnati home and over Zoom. This is a CBS moderated debate, and it'll last about 90 minutes. No pre-written notes are allowed, and both candidates get 2 minutes for closing arguments. And unlike the presidential debate, moderators won't be live fact-checking tonight. They're leaving that up to the candidates to fact-check each other. Both campaigns say each candidate will talk about the issues they believe play to their advantage.
J.D. Vance, who's about to be on the debate stage, came out and announced what that plan was, and it was putting people with pre-existing conditions back into these high-risk pools that cost them more money and could actually eliminate their health care coverage.
JD won't let him get away with it. From the border to the economy to American leadership on the world stage.
Now, even though the debate will be hosted by CBS News, you can still watch it right here on KARE 11. The debate starts at 8. Then join us on KARE 11 News at 10. We'll break things down in-house with analysts Brian McClung and Jeff Hayden. Alexis.
Cece, thank you. And across the state, there will be several debate watch parties. Here's a list of some of them, which includes one in Walz's hometown of Mankato, being hosted by Trump Force 47. Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan will also be attending a watch party in St. Paul hosted by the Minnesota DFL.